Sunlight strikes the turquoise and cobalt tiles of the royal mosque on a crisp, dust-tinged November morning in the year 1600. It lights up the wide sky over Isfahan, the magnificent capital of Safavid Persia. Across the broad, sandy expanse of Naqshi Jahan Square, known as the image of the world, a cool desert wind blows gently across the open plaza. It carries the rich aroma of crushed dried roses, wood smoke from charcoal braziers, roasted lamb fat, and the sharp scent of cardamom and cumin. Here in the heart of the empire, under the wise rule of Shah Abbas the Great, travelers and locals acclaim this city as half the world. At the northern edge of the grand square stands the main portal of Qeysarieh. This soaring brick gateway is decorated with colorful paintings of royal hunting scenes, astrological signs, and shining star tiles. Beyond this portal lies a hidden city beneath arches. It is the imperial Qeysarieh Bazaar, a vast vaulted network of brick arcades that stretches for miles into the city layout. Beneath these shaded domes, Persian merchants, Armenian silk traders, Indian bankers, and Venetian diplomats gather to exchange the wealth of the Silk Road. Yet this golden metropolis of art and trade exists on a delicate historical threshold. In the decades to come, devastating wars with the Ottoman Empire and a catastrophic Afghan siege in 1722 will shatter the Safavid monarchy, leaving these vaulted avenues silent. But on this morning in 1600, the covered bazaar is alive, prosperous, and echoing with the pulse of global commerce. This digital reconstruction of the covered bazaar of Isfahan in the year 1600 was created using artificial intelligence based on detailed historical studies and records of the period. Before going further, consider subscribing to the channel Rewind History and leaving a like so more lost worlds can return to the light through this work. Step inside now beneath the soaring brick vaults. Coppersmiths hammer red-hot metal in dark workshops. Blind mules turn heavy oil presses in cool subterranean stone chambers below ground level. Master weavers knot fine raw silk into glowing carpets beneath the golden light coming down from high skylights. Step into the Qeysarieh Bazaar, and you immediately feel like you are walking into an underground maze built entirely of sun-dried clay and baked red brick. The architectural layout is organized around a grand central artery, intersected by vaulted crossroads known as chaharsuks. High above the smooth stone-paved floor, massive brick domes arch gracefully across the passageways. Thick mud brick piers coated in smooth white plaster, called gatch, support these heavy ceilings. At the top of each dome, circular skylights known as horno cast dramatic shafts of golden sunlight down into the dim avenues. These bright beams illuminate swirled clouds of dust, sweet incense smoke, and floating wool fibers. This vaulted brick architecture is a masterpiece of desert climate control. Double-shelled domes and high wind-catching towers, called badgers, trap cool morning breezes and circulate fresh air throughout the enclosed market. This keeps interior temperatures remarkably mild even during the scorching heat of summer or the freezing nights of Persian winter. Deep inside the main central passageways, hundreds of deep shop bays known as hujras stretch along both sides of the street. Each individual shop features an elevated stone platform called a dakin, raised 2 feet above the main thoroughfare. Here, merchants sit cross-legged upon woven wool rugs, displaying their precious goods within easy reach of passing buyers. Recessed behind the shops are small storage rooms and private ledgers. Behind the main arcades lie vast open-air trading centers, known as sarays. These multi-story commercial complexes feature central courtyard gardens centered around large marble basins, called haus, filled with circulating water. Heavy wooden gates protect warehouses packed with raw Caspian silk, Indian spices, and Chinese porcelain. Upstairs rooms provide comfortable lodging for foreign merchants and traveling diplomats. Rich fragrances and powerful echoing sounds fill the covered bazaar, making it feel intense and full of life. The air is saturated with a complex mix of smells: raw sheep wool, natural plant dyes like indigo and madder root, sweet Iranian saffron, fragrant rosewater from cashin, raw leather, and the sweet smell of hookah tobacco soaked in fruit juice. Sound echoes powerfully off the curved brick vaults. The steady beat of wooden looms from carpet workshops mixes with the ringing of copper hammers. Heavy iron camel bells clank in the halls. Water splashes in courtyard fountains, and hawkers chant loudly to advertise foreign textiles in Persian, Turkish, Armenian, and Hindi. Hours before the morning call to prayer echoes from the tall minarets, life begins inside the covered bazaar around 4 o'clock in the morning. At the outer wooden gates, night watchmen known as asas unbolt heavy oak doors studded with iron spikes. Long lines of dusty camel caravans step inside from the desert roads. Strong porters, called hamels, wear thick leather shoulder pads and rope harnesses. They haul massive textile bales and spice sacks off the backs of kneeling camels, transferring cargo to courtyard warehouses. Rigid guild rules govern everything inside the bazaar under the eye of officials appointed by Shah Abbas. At the top of commercial power is the merchant guild master, the Malik al-Tujjar. He is a wealthy silk trader who advises royal ministers on trade policy and settles major commercial disputes. Beneath him are wealthy wholesale merchants, known as Tajirs, who control international import networks stretching from Venice to Mughal India. Skilled master craftsmen, known as ustads, work right below the merchant princes. They hold family ownership of shop bays and direct all workshop production. Operating beneath the masters are journeyman workers and young apprentices, called shagirds. They perform manual labor while learning specialized trades like tile glazing, metal engraving, calligraphic carving, and textile dyeing. The human mosaic of the bazaar is extraordinarily diverse and welcoming. Armenian Christian merchants were forcibly moved by the Shah from the border town of Julfa to the new suburb of New Julfa. They now control the lucrative Caspian raw silk export monopoly. Indian Hindu bankers, known as banyans, sit in quiet alcoves operating credit networks and money exchange. Jewish herbalists, Georgian metalworkers, and Turkish traders move through crowded avenues. Overseeing daily order is the royal market inspector, the muhtazib. He roams the bazaar accompanied by guards carrying wooden scales to verify weights, inspect food freshness, and punish fraudulent merchants. Dawn breaks across the city, bringing merchants and artisans to public bathhouses, such as the grand hammam of the bazaar. They perform morning ritual washings, cleaning their faces, hands, and feet before laying out prayer rugs facing Mecca. Once morning prayers conclude, shop owners unlock wooden shutters and arrange merchandise on elevated docking platforms. The clothing of a Safavid merchant is a clear declaration of social status and religious alignment. Wealthy Persian merchants wear a long outer coat of fine silk brocade, known as a kaba. It features intricate floral patterns woven with silver thread, bound tightly at the waist with a rich cashmere sash called a shal. Beneath the kaba, they wear a lightweight cotton shirt and loose-fitting trousers known as tanbin. These are tucked into soft leather boots called kavsh or hand-sewn cloth shoes known as give. On their heads, loyal subjects wear the distinctive red-capped turban, the Taji Haydari. It is wrapped with 12 folds of white silk to symbolize the 12 imams of Shia Islam. Small everyday working tools combine mathematical precision with portable elegance to help these merchants conduct trade. Tucked securely into his waist sash, every Tajir carries a specialized brass or lacquered papier-mâché inkstand case, known as a kalemda. This slender, beautifully hand-painted box contains reed pens, a small bronze inkwell filled with soot ink, and a small penknife for trimming reed nibs. Beside the merchant on his carpet rest hand-carved wooden scales, called tarazu, fitted with brass weights for measuring raw silk threads, gold coins, and precious spices. Master carpet sellers carry iron shears for trimming wool pile. Money changers operate small wooden abacuses and coin trays to inspect silver Abbasi coins and Venetian ducats for clipping or fake metal. Around 10 o'clock in the morning, workers and merchants pause for breakfast. They buy food from mobile food vendors and small tea stalls, known as cheikhanas, nestled beneath brick arches. The morning meal centers around freshly baked sangek bread. This is a large, chewy flatbread baked on a bed of scorching river pebbles inside wood-fired clay ovens, leaving distinct indentations in the crust. Merchants tear off pieces of warm sangek to wrap around fresh goat milk cheese, called paneer. They eat it with fresh mint, basil, and tarragon known as sabzi cordon, along with shelled walnuts and sweet dried grapes. Water bearers, known as sakas, move through the crowds carrying heavy goatskin water bags. They offer cool water flavored with mint to thirsty shoppers for a copper coin. This simple morning fare is washed down with glass cups of hot black tea. Merchants sweeten the tea with hard lumps of saffron-infused rock sugar, called nabat, which melt directly on their tongues as they drink. Midday arrives, and the main meal of the day is brought into shops from nearby cookhouses or prepared in courtyard kitchens. The signature dish of the bazaar is abgusht, a rich, slow-cooked lamb and chickpea stew baked in small clay pots. It is served alongside saffron-scented rice, known as palo, and sour dried limes. On special trading days, merchants feast on fesenjan. This is a luxurious stew made from roasted duck or lamb simmered in a thick, dark sauce of crushed walnuts and sour pomegranate molasses. Pickled garlic, known as torshi, and cold glasses of rosewater sherbet flavored with cucumber shavings provide refreshing balance against heavy meat dishes. Vast transcontinental supply chains anchored in Isfahan feed this daily feast and fuel ongoing commercial exchange. Raw silk, the economic lifeblood of the Safavid Empire, arrives on donkey trains from northern Caspian provinces of Gilan and Mazandaran. Royal monopolies oversee this rich silk cultivation. Spices such as black pepper, cloves, and ginger travel by sea from South India to the Persian Gulf port of Bandar Abbas. Camel caravans then haul them northward across steep mountain passes. Chinese porcelain bowls, blue and white ginger jars, and raw jade travel along ancient overland Silk Road tracks through Central Asia. Fine Venetian glass, German woolens, and Russian furs arrive through European trade embassies favored by Shah Abbas. In return, Isfahan exports exquisite hand-knotted carpets, embroidered brocades, carved turquoise from Nishapur, and Damascene steel blades forged by royal swordsmiths. Sparks of commercial activity reach their peak during the afternoon hours inside the covered bazaar. The marketplace is divided into strictly organized guild quarters, with each area dedicated to a single specialized craft. In the Qeysarieh Mesgarha, the coppersmith's quarter, dozens of metalworkers hammer sheets of glowing red copper into massive cooking cauldrons, water jugs, and engraved serving trays. Their pounding hammers create a deafening rhythm of metallic strikes that echoes through brick vaults. In neighboring alleyways, master illuminators and miniature painters sit in quiet alcoves. They use brushes made from single squirrel hairs to apply liquid gold leaf and lapis lazuli pigment to royal manuscript pages. Nearby, carpet weavers sit before tall vertical wooden looms. Their fingers move with miraculous speed as they tie thousands of tiny wool and silk knots to produce intricate medallion carpets commissioned for royal palaces and European courts. Underground workshops in neighboring alleys run heavy machinery to support the commercial life of the city. Oil pressers operate massive underground oil mills, known as Qeysarieh Bazaar. Inside these cool stone chambers, blindfolded mules tread in endless circles around a massive granite millstone. They crush sesame seeds and linseed to extract oil used for lighting bazaar lamps and lubricating wooden machinery. Nearby, master leatherworkers cure cowhides in sumac leaf baths. Tile glazers apply cobalt blue and copper green glazes to baked clay tiles, firing them in wood-fueled kilns. At the Royal Mint, the Zarabkhane, located near the main entrance, smiths weigh silver bars and stamp official silver Abbasi coins, stamped with the title of Shah Abbas. At public drinking niches, called sakakhanes, thirsty porters pause beneath carved brass lanterns to drink free water provided by merchant endowments. Evening approaches as 5 o'clock arrives, signaling that commercial transactions are winding down. The social life of the bazaar now transitions into evening leisure. Merchants close wooden shop shutters and gather in neighboring chaykhanas to relax over tall glass water pipes, known as kalian. They smoke tobacco flavored with dried fruit and rose petals. Sitting on wide wooden benches covered with carpets, men engage in intense games of backgammon, known as takte nard and chess. Traveling storytellers and poets recite epic verses from Ferdowsi's Shahnameh and poetic ghazals by Hafiz. Outside the portal, across Nakshi Jahan Square, crowds assemble to watch royal horsemen play polo, known as chaugan, before the Shah's balcony at the Ali Kapu Palace. Other workers head to the Zerkhane, the House of Strength. There, men perform traditional physical exercises and heavy club, spinning to the rhythm of drum beats and epic poetry to maintain physical strength and spiritual devotion. Silence and quiet return to the vast brick arcades of the covered bazaar as night descends over Isfahan in November 1600. Heavy oak gates at all 30 portal entrances are drawn shut and locked with iron bolts by royal watchmen. Inside deserted thoroughfares, moonlight streams through circular skylights of high domes, casting silver geometric patterns across cold stone pavements. Fires of copper foundries are extinguished, the clatter of carpet looms falls silent, and the sweet smell of rosewater and wood smoke lingers in cool night air. Below the sleeping city, millions of silver coins and thousands of silk bolts rest secure within stone vaults. In 1600, under the brilliant leadership of Shah Abbas, this underground fortress of trade seems indestructible. It stands as the proud capital of a restored Persian Renaissance. Yet the glory of Safavid Isfahan was destined to fade. In 1722, an invading Afghan army would lay siege to the city, bringing terrible famine, economic ruin, and the tragic collapse of the Safavid monarchy, leaving many of these grand arcades abandoned to dust. Centuries have passed, yet despite political turmoil and the passage of time, the architectural and cultural heart of the covered bazaar endured. Today, clear archaeological evidence confirms the rich reality of 17th-century Safavid life. Detailed accounts written by European travelers, such as Jean Chardin, Pietro della Valle, and Thomas Herbert, describe this bustling world. Royal audit books, known as the Tadkarat al-Muluk, provide precise records of shop rentals, guild taxes, and trade volumes in 1600. Inside surviving vaults of the Qeysarieh Bazaar, modern experts still locate 400-year-old brickwork, hand-painted tile frescoes, iron kalemdans, and silver Abbasi coins. These enduring structures and artifacts stand as physical proof of the creative genius of Persian civilization. Long after merchants of 1600 passed into history, their craftsmanship and vision built an enduring sanctuary of culture and commerce, a masterpiece of brick, light, and human skill beneath the desert skies of Persia.